up our Sonic block. This will be a fantastic run. It is Sonic 06 Shadows Story by FocusSight. Focus, good luck.
Thank you very much, Helix. Hello, everyone. My name is FocusSight. Some of you may know me as just Focus. After a wonderful series of runs and a wonderful series of bid wars, including Hatsune Miku vs. Godzilla, which is something I am so glad I can say happened at this event. We had a bid war for the story that we'll be running here tonight in Sonic 06, and I can say that, very fittingly, given the recent movie and the recent game, Shadow's story has won the story bid war. And in particular, we are running Shadow's Story No Credits Warp, or NCW. With me here today, I have my good friend Nick867, or just Nick. If you want to introduce yourself, Nick.
Hello. I am regarded as the GOAT of 06, if you want to say.
Very firmly on that.
No one actually calls me that as an inside joke. But
No,
I'm the world record holder of Shadow Story. I'm here to cheer my friend Focus on. He's gonna do great. He's a great Shadow runner.
Thank you. And Nick is also fantastic. Other than just Shadow, Nick is also great at all the both Sonic and Silver, and is well known for his absolutely crazy optimizations in Sonic Story in particular. So I brought in someone I knew could commentate any of the runs, and that is by far Nick. So I'm glad to have them here with me tonight. Yeah, so run starts when we select Shadow on the episode select screen, and the run ends on the final hit to the final boss. We do not have any credits warp to speak of, although in Shadow's story that's quite late anyways, and there's a new funny way that we do it, but anyhow, without further ado, let us begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! So Shadow's story is... There's kind of a spectrum of, like, reliant on really big skips and more movement-based stuff. Shadow is in, like, the middle of it. I would say Sonic is more reliant on really slick movement, and Silver is a lot of, here's the trick you have to do. If you don't do this trick, then you can't save time. Shadow's kind of in the middle of that, as you can see with some of this homing attack optimization. I'm then going to run up here, tap left.
We call this run and gun. Oh.
Well, I didn't get it, but that's okay.
So this trick is actually pretty difficult because that kill plane is rather large, and you have to weave in and around it very quickly if you want to save time. This trick only saves 2 seconds, but it's really flashy.
It is. I go for it, but I have a one-up right there just in case we don't. So now I'm going to go
towards the bottom. Important.
I'm going to go towards the bottom here and homing attack into this. So there's this bottom path which has these dash panels that are the fastest way normally to go through here. Shadow can maintain his speed by kicking, and it's really useful, as you'll see. And then we get the first of many pause clips. Do you want to explain what a pause clip is, Nick?
Yeah, so whenever you press A and start at the same time, you'll see that Shadow jumps and pauses on the first frame of his jump, and when you unpause, it buffers a homing attack immediately. And what that does is it grounds Shadow, and it allows him to clip through doors if you have the right angle. It's very useful. We use it in pretty much every stage.
And the best part is that it's timed RTAs. Well, it's timed loadless, I should say. 06 uses loadless timing now, which thank the gods for that one, because it's very, very bad load variance in this game. Sometimes you can save a minute just because your console's fast. We just did Rouge clip here to skip all of this section and play as Shadow, and now we're going to do something interesting. We're going to deliberately skip this checkpoint, and I'd like Nick to explain why we're doing that as I go ahead and shoot these towers.
Yeah, so what happens is whenever you switch characters in this game, if you skip checkpoints and then finish the stage, you're able to play in the result screen, so you're able to move your character around. And something really cool about that is that if you hit a text box, it ends the results screen early. So here we're gonna even end the results screen before we even get our rank. This saves, I believe, around 7 seconds. It's really funny, and
it's a very good trick.
Unfortunately, this is like the only stage in the no credits warp categories that utilizes that, but it's a great way to start off Shadow's story.
Yeah. If you delay it, and we do this in, like, the all gold medals run, if you delay it, you can even skip the gold medals. They still count. You just skip the animation. And now we get to the worst boss in the game.
Yep, everyone hates this boss. It is much worse than Sonic's variant.
As we can see. I'm just gonna let him go. So this is Cerberus. You have to hit him 4 times in order to defeat him. And sometimes you can just get insanely bad luck from the start like I did. You need to be very precise with how you homing attack. Is he gonna turn right here? No, he's turning left. Good. You need to basically homing attack from the back, and you can't really homing attack from the side, unlike Sonic, which has a bit more leniency. But also, Sonic's homing attack means you can whiff off of it, i.e. you can accidentally, like, launch yourself to the edges of the arena with no recovery. We are doing okay, all things considered.
Yeah,
given
this is
the
a
bad
pretty good
start.
recovery.
We could probably get, like, a 105 if this goes okay. This is really close, though. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I did not like that one, Nick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, solid, honestly, given the bad start. That was really not that bad.
Yeah, we'll take it. This boss can swing you in multiple different directions.
Yeah, that's actually a very solid time, although I was very worried with the weirdly long pauses that the game was going to freeze.
Perfect.
I definitely got too nervous there. But yeah, that is the first boss of Shadow Story, and unfortunately, it's the worst boss of Shadow Story. To be completely honest, it's just not fun. And there's no real way to guarantee you can get that first hit done quickly.
It is up from there, though. The category definitely gets a lot more fun as it goes on. The end is actually not the hardest ending in the game, but it's a nice little relaxer before the last 3 stages.
Yeah, I would say so. So, we now have... So, I guess we should explain the plot of Shadow Story a little bit. So, he's an agent with gun, and so is Rouge, and they're trying to investigate some sort of anomaly that's happening. They first try to enter Eggman's base. They find nothing there, but they get ambushed by the dog. And now they're going to go to Kingdom Valley in order to figure out something about the Scepter of Darkness. And that's where we first encounter the main antagonist of Shadow Story, which is Mephiles. And so, you know, Mephiles, who is formed out of Shadow's shadow, warps them back in time later, and then they have to go around time-space, try to figure out how Mephiles and Iblis were created, and eventually defeat Mephiles at the end of the game. So that's really the plot of Shadow Story. What we've got here are 2 items from the shop, and they are both important, so I'll let Nick handle what we're actually going to talk about, what they are due.
Yeah, so one of them was the Lightspeed Dash, which you had just saw, which allows Shadow to dash through a trail of rings, just like Sonic. Works exactly the same way. And then the next one is a very important upgrade called the Chaos Boost, which gives Shadow the ability for Chaos Snap. It is a very convoluted ability that Shadow has. Our good friend Gordon Ramsay, you may know him, you may not, but he has written
Not the chef.
Not the chef, but he has written an entire dissertation on this in the 06 server, and it is very long and it is very detailed.
What is it?
It
17 pages?
About that, I want to say. It's very long, but it's a great read. Like, genuinely. It explains the ability super well. So basically, you're able to teleport to enemies, and you can use that to, whenever you charge the snap, you can go through lasers to get to a capsule, or you can go through a wall to get to springs or to enemies. You'll see that later in the run, actually.
And yeah, you need to have a full action gauge in order to activate it, which you can get from defeating enemies or from picking up that item. But I'm instead going to do something that Nick does not normally do. I am going to try for a moon jump here, bufferless, because it's a marathon and I want to have fun. And I am going to
let's go!
Because
So the reason these are so difficult is because they are frame perfect. You have to let go of the frame before you hit the ground, and it's really impressive that you just got this.
I have the power of the moon jump in me. I believe. That was slick. That was so good.
Nice 44.
That was so good. I just went for it. I'm sorry.
That moon jump is really hard because you're doing it on a slope without a shadow.
Yeah, usually the shadow's a good, or like the lighting's a good indicator for it. But yeah, moon jump happens. You can explain how moon jump happens while we go through this part.
Yeah, so what happens is basically your fall speed is getting converted upwards whenever you let go of A, the frame you hit the ground. So the longer you fly, the faster you fly up.
Yeah.
It's really
and you
funny.
let go on the frame right before you touch the ground. Here's fancier clip. Wait, let's try it again. Nice.
There you go.
That's a little pause clip that I found when we were messing around with how to skip certain things there. I'm gonna be safe here because this dude has a laser that can hit you. I'm gonna jump over.
That's the worst.
We do a Chaos Spear, which Shadow, it's done by pressing X. And it normally would stun enemies, but it also allows Shadow to, whoa, that was not what I intended. It also allows Shadow to, change his air momentum, like stop it immediately. We're going to homing attack this enemy, and then homing attack the spring to skip all the enemies we normally need to kill. And then we get to do nothing, and immediately break out of the automation, because why not? Yeah, just doing nothing there is faster than going through the automation. You just avoid the panel immediately. So Kingdom Valley, Nick and I have an interesting thing in Kingdom Valley, because I grinded the stage for 4 days to try to get IL World Record. I managed to get it, and then Nick, in like 4 hours later, after I was already asleep, got it back. And I am so bitter about that, because it was the hardest I've worked on an IL in years. And Nick was just like, yeah, no, you're still doing good, you're still doing good. I'm like, come on, Nick, let me have this one.
I did it to push you, and look where you are now. You're 0.4 behind me. Very close.
Look where you are now, behind you again, okay?
It wasn't meant to be shady, I promise.
So we're deliberately getting hit here to try to avoid the S rank. If I pause clip through here, we can avoid having to do the enemies, and the goal ring is right here. I think I still have too much score. Yeah. Doing moon jump pretty much guarantees that you're gonna get an S rank. Especially if you do it as quickly as I did it. So like, S rank avoidance is pretty important in most stages in 06. Because of the fact that you get one less gold medal animation. And then this is particularly in no credits warp categories. I split before... I'm going to just skip that split. I split before I hit save. Normally in no credits warp categories, it's really important to skip as many gold medals as possible, because that means you save 5.5 seconds for every gold medal that you don't get. And so it's pretty important, if you can, to do strats that allow you to avoid the S rank. Which is what I tried there, but I couldn't avoid the S rank even if I did lose all my rings, just because I went through the stage too fast, which is okay. And then we have my least favorite stage. This is my least favorite stage in Shadow's story, so I'm going to let Nick explain what we're doing here for a bit, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so now we actually have to deal with the buggy. You get a little preview of it in White Acropolis, but you don't have to do that much movement. The buggy is very unwieldy, it's very bouncy. So in this section with a bunch of slopes and ramps and objects, it can be very hard to control, especially when trying to go fast. So we're basically utilizing this to go through the entire section because it is way faster than Shadow on the ground. We also have to be careful of not damaging it enough. So if it breaks, you're losing so much time. It looks like we're all clear here. Now we just need to get Shadow on the rail, and it'll take us all the way to the end.
Yeah, so that's the first section, which is... Normally this is Sonic's board section, which I also don't like, but for a different reason. Oh. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it's not great. The buggy doesn't control very well, let's put it that way. And
it's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, it is. So... There's quite a few tricks in Crisis City Shadow. It's probably the most flashy in terms of the stage, what the stages offer, I'd argue. Like, it has a lot of
flashiness. Yeah, it is definitely up there. Especially in this section and the fourth one.
So we're going to jump off here, and I'm going to go onto the rail. So the rail trick system in 06 is very interesting. Every character has their own limit for how many times you can press the X button, but every animation that I'm doing, I'm pressing the X button multiple times. So it's not just me just pressing X once when you see Shadow do that. It's me pressing it multiple times. It's in a rhythm of 1, 2, 3, where you do it at the beginning, middle, and very end of the animation. And so it allows you to go way faster than you would if you just pressed X normally.
And of course, the manual does not explain that.
I mean,
Pretty
the
sure
manual
it's
has
not
literal
intentional.
typos in it, so it's fine.
Oh yeah.
So we're
Pretty
gonna
sure
try
it's
for
not
a trick
intentional,
here.
but
I don't know. We'll see.
let's see if you get it.
Okay.
There we go. All right. So what we're gonna
So-
do here is a rock launch that is coined lamb sauce. Found by Gordon Ramsay, of course. Nice.
I'm not
That
going
was
for
very
the ladder.
clean.
I'm not going for the ladder. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm hedging my bets here. You can also do the launch off the ladder, but yeah, that's lamb sauce. It's a consistent breakout, and then you can use Shadow's kick energy to just fling yourself across the stage. The annoying thing is that the rock itself can get destroyed early depending on if Shadow touches it again. So either you want Shadow to not do like this dangle animation that he can sometimes do on edges, but you also want him to like stay put. Because if either of those two things happen, the rock can get destroyed in midair. I'm going to go for some lives here because I want to try for what we call Section 4 Rock, which is another one of those tricks. Except it's way less consistent because the rock shards aren't already broken. So,
However, this one saves a significant amount of time. The best version of this rock can save around 30 seconds. It's a really big time save if you get it.
I forgot to mention as well, yeah, so in the glider, you double tap A to do a boost, and then you hold, and then you wait till you get to do it again, then double tap and hold. That's it. That's the strategy for the glider sections. So now we get on to Rock 3, or Section 4 Rock, and I'm going to try for it twice. I said I would try for it twice, so I'm going to go for... You can do it from this one, but it's way rarer to get it to actually work, so I'm going to do it from here. Ooh, I don't like that rock, but...
This one can work.
Let's try it again. One more time. And if this doesn't work, then I'm going to just continue the stage normally. Because, you know, this is a unique trick. We like doing it because it's very flashy. Oh, come on. You know what? One more, because that's been so upsetting. And then we're back to 5. Come on. Third time's the charm, baby. Oh, this one's
Ooh,
not
I
good.
like.
No, that one's not
Oh.
good. That's okay.
Yeah,
so normally
so-
you can get a rock if you get the position right and the like the positioning and the angle of the rock right. You can get it to all the way to the rail sections. We're gonna get it over here in just a little bit. Unfortunate. I tried for it. It's it's a trick you want to get, but it's not a trick you expect to get. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it
So
is definitely one of those tricks.
Okay. Let's try that again. If you hit the spring and then go back, you can just get right to the top, which is kind of funny. It would send you here, for reference. Or if you're even luckier, you can get to the next rail section.
Yeah,
but
you
the
can
end
see
of-
clearly how much time that saves just by him saying where this takes you.
Yeah. But it is very volatile, so not much happens at the rest of Crisis City. So Helix, if you have anything you want to talk about, feel free to take it away.
Well, we had a donation that got us to that $1,600 mark. I have to find it because our tracker is being weird at me.
Okay, it's okay. We're almost at the end of the stage, so you still have time in the results screen.
It was $37 from Adeptius. There's no comment, but thank you so much for your generosity. Also, we have just opened the bid war for Celeste, which, by the way, is our bonus game, set at $2,000. So when we hit 2,000 total raised, we will unlock that Celeste bonus game. But it's not just a regular Celeste run. It is a Celeste run performed with one hand.
Yeah, please donate for that because I want to see that.
Yeah,
That sounds really
so
impressive.
You can donate to the bid war. That will also go to the milestone. It's a 2-for-1 deal, and I know you want to see a one-handed Celeste run. Get them in.
And also, just saying, Celeste, we know that Celeste means trans rights or human rights, so if you get it, you know that Celeste is one of the best games for that, and we need to show trans rights or human rights now more than ever, so
Darn
go
right.
donate for Celeste!
1000% agree.
Flamecore is the anti-Celeste in that it's bad and not fun. It has a really
Hey.
cool trick in it, okay,
Not
sorry,
too much
Nick.
on this stage.
Well, there is
That's too
these
much on my
random,
face.
there's these random, there are these random meteors that we lovingly call Cocoa Puffs, and they can destroy you. It's especially bad at the end of this segment, but there's a lot of cool movement in Shadow Flame Core. In particular, we get to really see the first use of Chaos Snap. And so we're going to get through. We can clip through this door, and then we want to snap through the enemies here. Jump, hold, you get to snap through there. And you can see it's very useful. So we're going to charge a snap here, which is done by holding A, and then it allows us just to clip through, and well, not even clip. It warps you to the spring. So it's like very
that's an intentional
useful
mechanic. It's really cool.
It's used in some of the very hard stages, like as that. So it's quite neat. We're gonna charge a snap here, and once again do this. Get through. I'm gonna play this safe. I'm just gonna hit the checkpoint. I don't want to.
Yeah, good idea.
In case something bad happens. Oh, Cocoa Puff on the ground? I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, the Cocoa Puffs here can be very deadly. They can kill your run if you skip these checkpoints like I normally do. And then here, sometimes
you can get
hit here and die.
So now we have one of the coolest tricks in Shadow's story ever. This is a trick that was theorized for the better part of 7 years, I want to say, and
quite a long
finally
time.
became real. So this is chaos control. I'm gonna let it happen, and then we can talk about it. How's that sound?
I think that sounds good.
This is what you came here for, folks. This is Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. No!
Oh no!
Oh, that's
Okay,
so
you got this.
sad. Okay. You can start explaining it now. I can't believe I said this is Sonic 06 and then I died.
This is
So
Sonic 06
basically-
into yelling no is very accurate though.
Yeah.
So basically the idea behind this is that whenever you have a Chaos Snap charged, Shadow can't homing attack to rails. The game doesn't know what to do. So it just sends you to the origin of the stage. And right there, we align it perfectly to where he flings through the death plane and has enough momentum to reach the checkpoint. You die on the checkpoint, and then you respawn there.
I'm having
it is
issues with the positioning because I'm having it spawn in such a way that the checkpoint doesn't spawn, but I'm hitting the checkpoint where it is. So let me try this.
It is a
one.
little precise.
I think I should be able to get it soon. If not, we will just go with our backup. That should make it. There we go.
There we go.
And then, because we hit the checkpoint while we died, it still counts. So we just start there. It's awesome. It took a little long than I would like, but I still got to show it, which is what matters in a marathon.
Yeah, if you get that first try, it saves around 20 seconds depending on your movement. And it just looks so cool and flashy. It's amazing.
Speaking of the opposite of that, this very dark room, we're going to climb up this very dark wall, which I can only see because the contrast on my TV is cranked up to maximum. We're going to jump through here, hover around the death plane, and I'm just going to instantly fall through here. That's a shame. Didn't get the enhanced drop speed, but there you go. That is Flame Core. Chaos Control is very cool when it works.
This is my favorite stage in the run. It's just so cool. The movement is awesome in Section 1, and then Chaos Control in Section 2 is
and then
undeniably one of the coolest tricks in the game.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And then it's followed up by something equally awesome, which is the wonderful part. Right now,
this has a serious story behind it.
So the story behind this is that right before both Gordon, Nick, and Gordon was the runner at AGDQ 2021 with Shadow's story, and Nick and I commentated in that run. The funny thing about this is that in the weeks leading up to this run, he tried to he's confirmed that the the special thing he wanted to show off was something called Final Hit, which is a trick at the very end of this normally, which would save maybe like 8 seconds, but lose the run if you miss it. Like 2 minutes of time lost. Gordon then spent an entire evening workshopping this boss and what he can do. And in doing so, he found a way to despawn it, which is what we're going to attempt. This is Iblis 2 despawn. And so what I'm first going to try to do is I'm going to get hit and have some invincibility. Pause clip through here. 1, 2. I want to do 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump. Pause. 44.849. I want 106.2. No, 106.4. So we're currently going out of bounds, all the way to the very edge of the bounding box. And the reason for this, you'll see soon. I'm going to stop myself with Chaos Spear. I think I'm high. I think I'm low enough, right, Nick?
You should be, yes.
Okay.
So basically, you're falling for about 21.5 seconds, and then you're holding X here to hold the Chaos Spear animation to hover right above the kill plane, and Iblis appears below you in the kill plane. And we're basically just gonna wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
Yep,
there
we
you go.
Nice. That
So-
saves about a minute.
Compared to what we previously did. So yeah, the game, in trying to return Iblis to the main area after completing that's the normal function that happens when he's trying to attack Iblis, for reference. He's trying to attack you at that point, like you're still on the platforms. The thing is that you're now, like, just above the bounding box of the stage. And when the game tries to finish that command, Iblis's own command that if you're in the bounding box, you're defeated, kicks in instead, and so you just despawn the boss, and it does that. It's amazing. It's really, really, really fun. Honestly, one of the most fun and cool things we've found in 06. It's one of only two
I remember the morning after Gordon found that, he spammed my DMs with 100 messages about how, like, ecstatic he was that he found that. It was literally the week before we did the GDQ run, so we had to practice the whole, like,
commentary
explanation
over
of the boss. Oh. It was really cool. I remember that day super vividly.
Do you think we can get 2 moon jumps, Nick? 2 unbuffered moon jumps? No.
Well, you still have the pity ones.
Oh, I could get the pity moon jump, you're right. Also, yeah, flashing warning because of this. Probably should have said that sooner, my bad.
Yeah,
this is from a bit of a rouge. It sure is a stage. Do I get a pity moon jump? No. Okay. So yeah, there is moon jumping is the fastest way to beat the stage, but you can also just do that over here and get a time that's still fine. Tropical Jungle Rouge, folks. It sure.
Yeah, this is a very trivial stage.
Anyhow,
well, that was some beautiful technique.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I think of her beautiful technique very well. Anyhow, next up is the slot machine boss of the game. Well, not the slot machine. Not the slot machine, I should say. Oh, sorry. Nick, is the... Can you see the stream again, Nick?
Yes.
My bad. I accidentally turned it off by splitting. Anyhow, Mephiles, this is Phase 1, and so Phase 1 starts off in Shadow. So Shadow has to go ahead and destroy a lot of these... What are these called again?
I just call them goons, but...
Okay, you call them goons. So the goons... I don't feel comfortable saying that. The goons, or I think like mini shades is the other thing. Okay, we've gotten this text box, which means we are on pace to get a decent first section. From now, we just do the spin kick, which is this is really the only time you're going to use that spin kick in NCW, really. We wait, we let him spawn another round of goons, and then we get full meter from that to then attack him. I'm going to get a ring, actually, just to be safe, because sometimes he can be mean. We're gonna Chaos Snap to him, get half of his health bar. And there you go. It's fine. You just destroy him. And then... Oh, someone mentioned, yes, I have a purposeful scan line over my VTuber avatar to make the low polyness look more low poly. It's not an error. It's a scan line. And now we have the funny part. So this is Omega. I love Omega normally. In 06, he's kind of bland. And this boss is really indicative of that. This boss is just hope that you get multiple hits, that Mephiles stays in the same place. And so you're just mashing X in the air, and he's been kind of mean this spin so far. He's not giving me a single extra hit. He hasn't been too bad, though. The worst you can... Oh, there we go.
There we go.
That's all we get, I think.
Oh, there's one.
Wasn't too good. It's really just you want to get really lucky, and you can. I've gotten like 7 in a row in the one place before. It's kind of funny, actually, but it's also sad that it's just, yeah, you get what you get, really. No way to improve it or speed it up.
Yeah, this is like one of the few instances of RNG in 06. There's not very many random things in this game.
Shadow has weirdly a lot of them.
Yeah, Shadow does have most of them. Silver has a
Um,
big instance of one, and Sonic practically has no RNG.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're going to get started with Radical Train. And the funny thing is that now that we have loadless timing as a thing in Sonic 06, we actually do a slightly different route here. Previously, we would do a set of clips to clip into Radical Train early, but it's actually just faster now to go to Radical Train and talk to Rouge. Like, previously we didn't do that because of the load screen afterward. But because that's no longer counted in our time, I'm going to do it. So let's talk to Rouge! And also buy Memory Shard Red. This is level 2 Chaos. What is the regular version called? Because Chaos Snap is the thing you get from level 1. Is it Chaos Boost?
Yes.
Red
Chaos.
Shadow is what we typically call him.
Yeah.
It's just Red Shadow. So Red Shadow now has level 2, which allows us to use spears. Spears will now have will now allow you to deal damage, and if charged, will create a giant ball of effect, which is used in one mission and at the end of one of the stages. So we get it here and now because why not? Also, just for safety reasons, I am going to save here.
Good idea. This stage can be a little scary sometimes.
Sure can. So Radical Train is where we see the third and final vehicle that Shadow gets. No! Sorry, there are 4. I forgot there are 4. There are 4, so ignore me. It's going to be the third vehicle we see in the run because I skipped the other one in Kingdom Valley when I did the moon jump. So normally you're supposed to defeat this train that Eggman is running towards your right. Wow, this clip is not being kind. Yeah, sometimes doors... Okay. I am going to play this safe and clip through here and then immediately die. Like old times. I remember when I used to do this. So cute. So young. That was like when I was playing the game when I was like 13. Anyhow, so that resets the train's position, so now the next train is the one coming. Come on, Shadow, no! Now the next train is delayed, so we don't have to do it. But normally, if you get that in one smooth motion, you can do it without needing to reset the train at all, because Shadow can go through this so quickly that he avoids everything, which is quite cool. We're gonna get Red Shadow again. We're gonna snap and hold. We're gonna go forward to avoid the big guys, and there you go. That's Radical Train Shadow's first section. And then
you can see how much pause clipping really shaves a lot of time off of these levels.
and also how
especially
failing pause clipping adds a lot of time. Because even in loadless, the pauses are counted, so you gotta be efficient. Speaking of efficient, we need to catch up with the Doctor's train. And we got a bike. This is the motorcycle, which I actually screamed when I saw a motorcycle in Sonic X Shadow Generations. I'm like, it's the motorcycle! From 06! I mean, it's also in Shadow, but in my hearts and in your hearts, it should be in 06. We're gonna stop here and just shoot it from here. And that ends it. Shadow looks away because he's very cool and does not want to look at us on the results screen, and that is Radical Train. He guesses that was alright.
Man, I can't believe Shadow Generations referenced the 06 buggy results screens.
Yep, that's what they did, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it as that.
I'm gonna let this cutscene play. This is an important part of 06 lore. I skipped it!
Well, we got a cool shot of Shadow.
Oh wait, no, sorry! It's still Silver the Hedgehog next. My bad! I thought I already beat Silver because this is such a nothing boss.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I thought I already beat him, so this is Silver. And unlike the Silver versus Shadow version, which is really annoying, this one is just... That's it. There you go. I'll destroy these barrels so you can see them on the results screen, and there you go.
Poor
There
Silver.
he is, the right. So Shadow's homing attack also has some weird properties, you know? Like, it can extend way further than you think it can, but there's no visual indicator, and it needs to be locked on prior to you homing attacking the thing you're going to homing attack. You'll see more of it in some later parts. But now we finally have the cutscene. I'm so sorry for speaking out of line here. Like, wow, I should have done this way better. Here's the cutscene. I almost skipped it. Oh no.
Chaos control.
Cinema.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. I will happily take the Golden Globe for that. Not Sega, me. I did that. I'm Shadow the Hedgehog.
This is what Martin Scorsese was talking about.
Exactly. So, the best part about that is, by the way, because we don't count loads, we don't count cutscenes as loads. That doesn't count towards the loadless time. Man, this is a very pesky clip that we're currently experiencing. This is one of the harder clips in the game, so I'm gonna restart.
Yeah, this one is pretty precise.
And if you get the wrong angle at the beginning, it's almost impossible to get it. Come on.
Turn him just a little more right.
And it's like teasing me now. There we go.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. So sorry
Yeah,
for
that one is a little finicky.
This
So
one is not.
basically,
Never mind, this one
You're-
is. Everything is finicky.
this section is supposed to be way longer than what we're doing right here. We're actually supposed to be playing a silver in that entire section, and it's supposed to be like 2 minutes long, but we can complete it at fastest about 11.5 seconds. Very
Yeah.
short section.
That was unfortunate because each of those pauses adds like a second.
That section, I think, is the most clear example of how broken the pause clips are.
Yeah, it basically is like free, just free segment skipping, which is quite cool. I don't think I'm gonna go for the score strats here because I picked up way too many rings. But we're gonna pause clip here, and then get into this. I should try for it. I don't see why I shouldn't. I guess, you know, I always get hit at the end anyway, but it might be close. It might be close if I can.
This section can be a little hard to control the bike with all these flying objects, which also causes the infamous 06 lag.
But yeah, right now I'm specifically going around the enemies in such a way that I can. So combos in this game do a lot of damage, or get a lot of points, which in like AGM is like what you want, but not here. Oh.
Ooh, be careful.
Yeah, I might get one ring and then lose
There
it
you go.
later. Although I think my time is too bad. We're gonna go to level 2. We're gonna quickly spear a few of them. Well, okay, now I'm definitely not getting the score. I'm definitely not S ranking because of that. Yeah, a bit slow, quite slow, and I think it's just too concentrated on the S rank. I didn't get the S rank though, so we'll take that.
Not even a challenge.
Section 2 is a lot more straightforward than S1 is, but it's still just a really cool stage. You skip so much with the pause clips, and then you have a nice little combat section with the Chaos Snap.
And in particular, we have S rank avoidance strats, but oh my gosh, why does it want to stop? It keeps on wanting to close my virtual camera every time I split. Ah, that's so funny. I'm sorry, Nick. You're like seeing some of this is like you're half seeing this as like a I guess the reverse of like a silent film, and that you're only hearing it.
Well, no, I'm watching.
Okay, fair. I'm glad it's working again.
That's called a
Yeah,
podcast.
it's all
That
good.
is called a podcast or an audiobook or
Yeah.
oral storytelling. Any of those things. Like that's kind of movies before the movie. We're gonna do a pretty cute little trick here. Normally you have to do mission 14 here, and then we're gonna use something called M Speed to go around. We've been using M Speed actually throughout this run already. Basically, if you hold the control stick at its base walking position, you'll be able to maintain. You'll be able to go over the speed cap. The speed cap in 06 is only hit if you are holding the control stick. And so we do not need... You can go beyond the speed cap if you aren't. Dog. There you go. I'm doing that before I death warp. We don't lose a life if we die in the hub world. We're going to death warp. We're going to clip out over here. And that will get us around to here. The Scepter of Darkness, which we just collected, unlocks this spring, which allows us to go to Wave Ocean. And now we have probably the most boring stage in the entirety of the Sonic 06 front, like across every story in every category.
Yeah, this
Wave
stage
Ocean-
is the definition of an auto-scroller.
So because of that, Helix, do you have any donations or announcements you'd like to make for like the next 40 seconds?
I absolutely do. I was gonna say, this sounds like a job for me. $10.06 from Tempest Mask 1000, who says, "Hello, Midwest Speedfest friends. I had to make sure I chipped in and helped with bolstering this year's upcoming event and VGM Con, and what better than to cheer on my longtime pal Focus. So glad to see you've been picking up a 6 again, buddy, and much love to the 06 and overall Sonic community. Now go have Shadow make mac and cheese, as nobody can stop." The donation ends there. I do echo that sentiment, though. It's good to see you playing the 6 again.
Oh, thank you. It's been 12 years now. I always said that I would stop playing 06 when I turned 24, and I didn't. I did stop for about a period of 2 years because of university, and now finally I'm back in university and doing 06 again. So it's kind of nice, you know, to do it again. But yeah. Do you have any other donations or anything else you'd like to mention?
Yes, there is $10 from Perfect Hair Forever, who says, "Hair care with Helix run when?" Look, I just use conditioner, alright?
You don't even use
Just use
shampoo?
conditioner, I don't know what else to tell you.
I've seen your hair. There's no way it's just conditioner.
Well, I mean, yes, also shampoo. But it's
Okay,
mostly
okay,
the
okay.
conditioner is why it looks
Conditioner does wonders to hair.
It
yeah.
does, and
There's your hair care advice.
yeah, there we go. The hair care is with in Omega Wave Ocean. Yes.
Yeah.
The most hair character in this game.
Of course.
It's so funny because the main reason I use a VTuber now, which is hello, this is my robot Wasp Fox, is because I hate my hairline because I am balding at 24, and so it's funny to hear hair care and be like, oh yeah, I know that. Anyways, funny.
It won't take much for me to
No way. Oh. No way you got
That
this.
is box clip, and that skips the entirety of Wave Ocean.
That's a
We
really
get a
good time.
full frontal of Omega. Like, why is he this close?
That was adequate.
And side on, we can also charge a shot, and you can see it's still running. It also slows the game down, funnily. And that's Wave Ocean. Very fun, very fun. From one robot to another, I love you, Omega. What a wonderful
I
little
can't
robot.
believe you went for box clip.
I felt like it. It's a fun strat. Anyhow. Destroy the enemies invading from the desert. This is kind of a shoehorned in mission. It's clear from the unused missions that this was not supposed to be originally where we went. We were supposed to originally go to New City, do a mission there, and then do this mission. But instead, we're immediately put into mission 15. If you let Lord Regis die, who's to our left, you credit swap. Because the game did not put a failure condition in for this stage, like normal. Well, it did if you die, you just restart. But like, if you don't, if you let people die, then you credit swap because the game doesn't know where to put you. So this is where we get to really see some of the combat in Shadow Story come out. So I'll let Nick handle that while I concentrate on it.
Yeah, so the Chaos Snap is very useful for destroying enemies because whenever you charge a snap, you basically just instant teleport to them. And whenever you hold A, it does damage a lot quicker. And with these spears that Focus is using right now, you can spawn in these worms a little earlier if you time them correctly, and that saves a lot of time if you're able to stack them. There's 4 of them that you can get early, so if you chain all 4 of them, you save, I would want to say roughly like 6 seconds. It's a lot
You
of
save
time.
a decent amount of time, which is why we just got an okay time. I didn't get any of the spawns early because I mistimed my spears. But that's okay.
It's pretty strict timing wise. It's not easy.
Does this have a save prompt after it, Nick?
It does. Yes, I want to say
I should split on save prompt then.
for sure.
Okay.
Perfect.
So going back to the little credits warp conversation, Shadow is unique in that I want to say, someone will correct me if I'm wrong on this, probably Gordon, But I want to say there's 4 different ways you can warp to the credits in Shadow Story. It's pretty crazy.
Like how you say that like it's like a well-known thing, like, oh yes, pass down the arrows were the 4 ways of credits warp in Shadow Story. Like Gordon has like the tombs or whatever in his collection. It's like, oh yes, you've missed one.
Well, he does. He'll tell me if I'm wrong.
We now have the best stage, and one of the I would argue either the best or one of the best stages in Shadow Story coming up. This is Dusty Desert, and it starts off with a very big skip called Flip and Clip. It sounds like a Banjo-Kazooie mechanic. It isn't, but it kind of feels like one, frankly.
We finally get to see the hovercraft.
The hovercraft that I skipped in Kingdom Valley, we finally see. If you double tap A, you can hover. I did that too soon. Oh no.
You're good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to use that hover ability to slam ourselves against a wall, and then hope we fall on our backs, which means that the game will automatically, because you can't just exit this one. You can't just exit this vehicle. It's required that you just can't press Y to exit like you can every other vehicle, because they wanted to enforce that you must go through the checkpoints. But they they had a fail-safe of if you are in a position where the hovercraft can no longer like get back to normal operation, it'll destroy itself after X amount of seconds. And so we can get that to happen, which is quite fun.
This is another stage where the pause clip is insanely broken. You skip so many sections. Like, there's a whole section where you're supposed to play as Omega. We're not doing that.
I'm gonna restart that just because I want to show this. Okay, whatever. Yeah, sure. We can get it all the way to here, actually. And then from there, we can go... M-Speed is useful in a few places here, too, but, you know... You can also get the M-Speed effect in certain areas by just not holding the control stick at all. In particular, it's what is useful in Mach Speed's Sonic. So apparently this is Focus Clip. I don't remember finding this clip, but sure, I'll take credit. We're gonna get over
If
here.
credit given, we take.
This is the second Shadow section, so we skipped Omega. We skipped that entire part. We're gonna get over here. I'm gonna clip through here again. We're going to get on here, and then we're gonna press kick several times to maintain our momentum. And then there's some really interesting stuff you can do with the momentum, with the animations that you get. And this is the fastest way to get through it all.
Yeah, it's just a nice little fun movement stage that you get right before the final boss, Mephiles. Pretty technical stage, but not anything on the level of like Flame Core or Crisis City. What did you hit?
I was so scared there! It was a piece of pot! Oh my gosh!
I have never seen that. What?
Everything I knew about the game was like flashing through my eyes for just a second. Like I just experienced the multiverse in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know
I had like a That's So Raven moment. Like I saw your death.
Genuinely, I thought we were going to die, but we didn't, and we finally get onto Mephiles Phase 2. Mephiles! He's a character. We're going to try to attack some of the goons up top in order to get meter early. So if I do this, I jump off, homing attack against Omega, because he has such a big body, like the biggest thing in the game. It can really annoy you in like certain like not just that. Like I was thinking Hub Worlds.
Yeah, but Mission 15 is like the most prominent thing. We did an IL competition earlier this past year, and a lot of the complaints on Mission 15 was about Omega. He just constantly gets in your way.
So now we're going to do some strats to optimize getting the most meter out of characters. So I'm going to stand here at the edge of the circle, and at 39.5, I'm going to go over to this guy. This dude's going to slam down, and so we're going to hit him like this. If I've done this, that was not a lot. I don't know why that.
You got nothing, man.
This might be slow. That's okay. We're now going to do the first one. I'm hopeful we could still get enough from these guys. So I'm going to let this one come down. Yep. Going to fall fully down. Going to get over to here. Oh, that's a lot. Okay.
Oh, you'll be good, yeah.
Let's hope. I think this might be close.
Ah, you just had one more.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm mashing RT and nothing's happening. At least it's not Iblis 3, 1 HP left.
For sure, yeah.
So yeah, we got barely too few. But as soon as we get here, we get to fight Mephiles himself. We got a ton from that. Okay.
So here we had to get him to 50%. So he starts this cycle early. Now we're gonna do a full cycle, and then now we're gonna do one here. But you want to leave out the final hit, and
Time.
we're done.
Hey, 4832. That we use
Not
all this
bad.
now. I don't know what that means.
I am invincible.
I mean, we got to show some of the cool tricks. That's the main point. We did go for Section 4 Rock 3 times. You know,
You gotta commend it. You went for all the difficult tricks.
You got to. It's a marathon run, you know. It's a marathon run, and even then,
you
we're
got
still well underestimated.
you got KV Moonjump in this run. You can always say that.
AB Moonjump, instant, first try Iblis. I went for all the stuff, and so I can't feel bad, you know? Pretty solid run overall. Definitely pretty good considering I've been out of practice in Shadow's story. This is the first full run I've done in maybe 2 years, so I appreciate people donating for Shadow's story and getting it shown. I think it's underrepresented, honestly, in terms of all the 06 stories, because Sonic, really fast, it's the one everyone knows from their own casual playthroughs, and it's also really, really optimized and cool to watch. Silver is obviously the flashy, technical one, with a lot of interesting and cool physics-based tricks. Shadow has a lot to offer, and I'm very glad we got to show, you know, Shadow in this story, in this speedrun, sorry. Shadow in his own story can't even be shown, imagine that. But I want to say thank you so much to everyone at Midwest Speedfest for making this possible. Why is there a space after the I? Wait. Why is there a space after the I? Destroyed! Anyhow, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much, Nick, for being a wonderful commentator. Thank you, Helix, for being a wonderful host. Lots of fun. Shadow's story is just a fun category, and 06 is a fun speed game, so if you are ever interested in seeing more Sonic 06, obviously you can follow me at FocusSight on Twitch or on Bluesky. You can follow Nick at Nick867 on both those platforms as well. You know, support the Sonic 06 community, speedrunning community. We have a lot of new runners, fortunately, and I think it's very cool to see them, you know, active and everything. And again, thank you so much to Midwest Speedfest for having me. Hoping I can go to one of your guys' you know, in-person events and support you all there, but for now I'm happy still being able to support online. So get those donations in for Celeste, and thank you for having me. Take it easy, everyone.